Hello, welcome if you're new. My name is Raquel and I'm a little bit tired because I've just got back from Australia like 2 or 3 days ago, so my brain's still not quite functioning as normal, but that's okay. Well, it is during the day, just not as it gets to night time. I have been living in London / surrounding areas for, it depends who you ask and when you ask, but for the last year consistently. And I have been very, very lucky to be able to stay with my grandma. So I've been living with her for the last year. However, I'm not the only grandchild and I'm not the only guest she has, so I very often have to share or move out. And there's just, I don't know, it's reached the point where I'm ready to move out. I actually was ready about 6 months ago. And well, to be honest, I've been ready forever, but my bank account has not necessarily. And about 6 months ago, I did go and have a look at a couple of places. And then my grandma said, actually, I'd rather you stay with me. So, couldn't say no to that. But now I really do feel, especially because my cousin is now staying here more often, I just feel it's time for me to move on. But I still don't like spending money, and I'm still very much the kind of person who will try and find a bargain wherever possible. And if you've heard anything about the London housing market, it is that a bargain is not possible. So from when I was in Australia, I was kind of saying, when I go back, that's when I start to get serious. So I've started looking and applying and being in contact with people. And I went to my first house viewing yesterday, and a couple of things are important to me. There's a couple of things I'm looking out for. Number one, I've got quite a strict budget, so that's already gonna remove a lot of properties from my list. Number two, I want to be reasonably close to a tube station, not really more than 15 minutes walk. Number three, I want a decent kitchen. I am not gonna do with a kitchenette, which is funny because I've never been a cook, I've never considered myself a cook, but I know myself, and especially now that I'm not working a hospitality job where I get free food, I really need to have a kitchen. Number four isn't as important necessarily, but just something that would be nice would be to have a relatively decent amount of storage. Now, nothing I'm going to be able to afford will have as much as I want, but I definitely want to have enough stuff or enough space to house some of my stuff. And in part, that's also to do with the kitchen. I have a lot of kitchen stuff, and I want to be able to have it all in cupboards in the kitchen, ideally. But then I've also got a lot of clothes, so there's a lot. I think those are the main things. And then in terms of area, I would like to stay very broadly within the area that I am, within sort of a half-hour range. I want to be near enough to my grandma and family and things like that. So there's lots of different things I'm looking at. I made a spreadsheet a couple of days ago because I was just finding it overwhelming, and spreadsheets and lists on my way to go. And I'm just going to try and document this process because I know I'm not the only one. In fact, I've got friends who need to move out as well. So I know how tough London is, and I know that a lot of people have questions about it or are curious about the process. So here I am documenting sort of how long it takes, what's happening, etc., etc. There was a property that was very near to here, probably within a 5-minute walk, and I loved the look of it. It was perfect. The budget was well within the budget, so that was nice. And I applied for it and I said, I'm so keen for this. And then I think I got an email back on the Monday that I was flying. So obviously didn't see it until Tuesday. Wrote back on Tuesday and they said, we're doing viewings Mondays and Wednesdays. And I said, I can do Wednesday. Does that suit you? And they got back to me today, Thursday, to say, sorry, we had a viewing yesterday. Someone's taken it. The landlord has accepted. Too bad. Bearing in mind, I flew this Monday. Like, this has all happened within the space of less than a week. So we've already had the first one we've missed out on. And then, as I say, I did see a property yesterday and it was okay, but I wasn't fully in love with it. Location was fantastic. Kitchen was decent, but it didn't have an oven, which, I don't know, I don't love the thought of that. Although I've got a few family members and friends who have air fryers and swear by them, so maybe that's what we're moving into. It had one great cupboard, but it was really tall and I couldn't reach the top, and it literally would have had space for a bed and nothing else. So it ticked some boxes, but not all. I'm not fully opposed to it, but I don't feel wholeheartedly that I want to go in on it. And the cost was sort of at my budget. And obviously if I can find something for less than my budget, that would be great. There is a property. I've applied to loads of properties. I've seen loads of properties like online, and there is a property that came up I think within the last 24, 48 hours that I love the look of. Again, excellent location, looks like it's got a decent kitchen, looks like a nice space. Really nice bathroom as well from the pictures. And I've already written to them twice because I didn't realise I'd already written to them. And I'm just like clawing to get my hands on it. It is on the upper end of my budget, but I feel like it'll be worth it. That's the thing about this property I saw yesterday. Even though it's bang on the budget, I just feel like I can do better for that same amount of money. But it is a great location. So there's lots to think about, lots to ponder. And I'm gonna, as I say, try and document all the processes of it all because it's not fun. Luckily, the one good thing that I'm so grateful for is that I don't actually have a day that I need to have a place by. You know, it's not like I'm being kicked out of somewhere and being, you know, desperate to find a new place. I can stay here as long as I need, which means that if I don't find a property this month, I can look next month, I can look the month after, like I've got time. Obviously for me, the sooner the better, but it's not as urgent. So come along with me and we'll see where it goes, shall we? And we'll see how long it takes and, you know, how we do with the budget. And if I've already moved up my budget once by an extra £100 a month. And now I'm already thinking about moving it up another £100 because I do think every time you move up that band, you get nicer places. Of course, obviously, that's how it goes. But then equally, I'm thinking to myself, like, that's an extra £100 a month. That's not cheap. So yeah, lots going on. And stick around, see where this leads. Bye. Hello, just to give a little update on the whole housing thing. I had a lot of missed calls. I don't know if I spoke to you guys about this. My phone has had problems and I had loads of missed calls from different estate agents that I'd applied to. And so this morning I called them all back. I think there were 4 in total that had called me. 3 of them I called back. 1 of them I looked at the property again and I was like, oh, I don't really like it so much. 1 of them said the property had already been taken. Another one said I wouldn't qualify for, I don't know if it's references or I wouldn't qualify for something. I don't really know what. And they asked me if I had a UK-based guarantor, which of course I do not because my guarantors are in Australia. And this is a problem I had when I first moved out of here a few years ago. And then I could just say, right, I'll do a double deposit instead. But here, instead of a double deposit, they want 6 to 12 months of rent up front, which I'm not doing. I'm not tying myself in to a landlord who might be awful or a place that might be awful for 6 to 12 months. Even though if it's great, I intend to stay longer than that. So that's frustrating. And then the third one, when I called, the person who picked up the phone said he was actually from the sales team and all the lettings people were in a meeting, but that he would ask them to call me back and they haven't. So I'm feeling a little disheartened. Which I was expecting to feel. And again, like, I'm not actually in a rush, but it is frustrating. And I think I'm feeling more disheartened because I know that even if I get as far as a viewing and a place that I really like, I'm then still going to face the issues of everything I don't have in the UK. And as a result, I've got back to the property I saw a few days ago and I've said to them, actually, I am interested. Because even though it's not perfect, if they take me, I'll take it. And I did love the kitchen, even though it didn't have an oven, which I didn't love. But the storage in the kitchen was great. So those are the updates. And as I say, I'm just trying to be honest. I feel like a lot of my channel is just trying to show, you know, the harsh reality of my life and this kind of life. And obviously I'm hoping at some point I get to show the joy and the positive things that come with it. But at the same time, I also feel it's only fair to show the hardships and the struggles and the sacrifices. And I feel like I do have a balance of that. I hope I have a balance of that on my channel. And this is just another video that highlights that. But again, hopefully by the end of it, we'll have something nice. You know, I hope I find a nice place and, you know, within the budget. All right, I'll see you with the next update whenever it may come. Bye. Hello, little update on the whole housing thing. I am still constantly looking and still constantly feeling just incredibly frustrated with the market here. But once I left Australia, I switched on notifications for as soon as a new property comes up, sort of in my price range. And one came through today that was absolutely perfect. Like, it was, all things considered, obviously nothing can be totally perfect, but of all the things I've seen, this is the one that I'm like, this is what I'm after. It's within my price range. It's on the upper end of my price range, but it's in there. And what I like about this one is it's got all bills included, so you don't have any shock prices. I don't know how much bills are going to cost me. I don't have a good sense of how much I need to add to the rent in terms of working out how much it is per month. And I like that this is just a fixed price. It's got council tax included. It's so easy. The location is the only thing that I would say isn't ideal, but I could live with it. I could definitely live with it. So I immediately applied, and I was getting so impatient because it was so, like, I was so on it and I was so desperate for it. And then I found the same property on another website, and I was like, do I apply for it again just to be sure? And I thought, no, I don't want to be too desperate. And then as I finished work, I was like, do I ring them and just make sure? Because I just want to get my hands on this property. And I was constantly refreshing my emails as well, obviously. And I've just seen, just before I started filming this clip, I was like, oh, I should check my emails actually and see if I've got anything. And how annoying is this? I switched the computer off with my emails on at 3:43. They emailed me at 3:47, and I've only just seen it now it's now 5:46. And I'm sure they probably have finished work for the day, which is so annoying. But I'm going to respond to them now and just say, please let me have this. Look, the good thing is I've got all day tomorrow and then half a day on Friday off. So in theory, I'm flexible to come view the property tomorrow. And then I'm ready. Like, I am so ready to go for it. And then in terms of the other property that I have already seen, there's been a little bit of backwards and forwards in terms of what they need from me. I just keep thinking about this other property, like the kitchen. Oh, I'm so sold on the kitchen. The kitchen is what sold me, to be fair. But anyway, I hope I get it so I can show you once I'm there. But this other property is now finally waiting on something from me. It's my turn to do something. And I'm just going to give it a day. I'm going to give it 24 hours because I'd rather get this other property. I think this other property would be like £50 a month more expensive, but that's worth it to me. It's so worth it. I mean, I need to see it, right? Like, I can't say that yet. And the other property was in a better location for me. So, you know, there's going to be sacrifices, as I said, I think earlier. But there's been very few properties where I've felt really excited about it. This is one of them. There was one I saw yesterday. This was so annoying. Everything about it looked perfect. It was £50 cheaper than the one I saw today. And it also had everything included. And it just looked gorgeous. I was like, this is exactly what I'm after. Again, the only hiccup was the location. It wasn't perfect, but it would do. And I read the whole thing and I was like, this looks so good. And then it said for students only. And I was like, come on. Very annoying. Anyway, I'm gonna do this now. Hello. It is a Saturday night, and on Shabbat, I don't use technology, but also I don't really expect much to be happening on weekends in terms of housing markets. That being said, I still checked after Shabbat, and there were 2 different properties that I saw that I really, really liked. Both in a good location, both furnished, which is nice, both have ovens, you know, they were ticking a lot of boxes. And I think both had bills included as well, which I appreciate. So I've reached out to them, but, you know, it's a Saturday night. They're probably closed and they probably won't be open again until Monday. So we'll see what happens. But the last 3 I've seen have been the 3 I felt most positive about until now. If I could get any of those 3, I'd be delighted. Obviously, that first one that I loved has not got back to me yet, which is frustrating. And by yet, I mean they probably won't get back to me. And I'm still debating whether or not to go back to that first one, but I think I'm going to wait until Monday afternoon and see if either of these other 2 get back to me, because I would prefer either of those. We'll see what happens, but I feel more positive about these 2. We'll see what happens, but it feels good knowing that there are properties out there that I like more. Because for a minute there, I did feel very just jaded with the options and what I know I'm going to end up getting. So fingers crossed. I'll see you with the next update. Hello. I think I mentioned either Saturday, well, it probably was Saturday night, that there were 2 properties that came up after Shabbat that I really liked the look of more than sort of most of the others that I've seen so far. One of them contacted me on Sunday yesterday. It's Monday today. They called me to say, when can you do a viewing? And I was like, I can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like, I will try whatever time suits you, basically. But I said in terms of earliest would be either Monday or Tuesday after work. And she said, can you come on Tuesday after work? And I said, absolutely, let's do it. And she did ask me a couple of other questions just regarding, like, if I was British and what I was earning and how I was earning it and that kind of stuff. But overall, she seemed happy enough. And so I'm going to see it after work tomorrow. And I'm just so desperate. I keep going back onto the listing and looking at it and just admiring it. Like, again, it's not perfect, but I feel like it's one of the closest we've come to in terms of perfectness. Oh, and I just want it so bad. And the move-in date for that would be next Sunday, so less than a week from now, which is like terrifying, but also amazing. And that one is really easy to get to from where I am currently. So in terms of moving, that makes it so easy. I don't want to get my hopes up, but I do. Like, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I desperately want this place, and I actually feel like I stand a chance. But I'm going to go see it tomorrow, and if I like it tomorrow, I will tell her tomorrow and say, what do you need from me? I want this place. Let me pay my deposit. Let me get it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm just so terrified about today. I was like, why not Monday? Because it's just an extra 24 hours that someone else can get it. But I want it. I really want it. It would just be so nice to have it because it's so local and it's so soon, then I don't need to worry about it anymore. And it's one where the bills are included, so I don't even need to worry about sorting out like all the bills and utilities and stuff like that, because that's always a faff and I'm not very good at it. So it would just be, it would just be so good if I could get this sorted. We shall see. And I'm going to the viewing today in about 3 hours, and I keep looking at the listing. I want it so bad. I want it so, so bad. Fingers crossed. I have some news. I think I've got a place. I went to view a place today. I think I've spoken to you guys about this place already. It's the one that's reasonably local to where I am, so I don't need to change much. And it's really like decently sized for the budget, and it's well within my budget. Initially, it was like the top end of my budget, and then when I had to reevaluate, I went up by another £100. But now this is sort of the max of my previous budget, so it's less than I ended up expecting to pay. And I got to the viewing, and I mean, I knew I was gonna like it. I've been staring at this property, like the pictures, all day, every day since Saturday night. It would have to be really awful or really tiny for me to hate it. And it was neither of those things. It was as it looked on the pictures, to be honest. Except for two things, which I'm surprised they didn't advertise, to be honest, because they are good things. Number one is the cupboard that you see on the picture is slightly smaller than the cupboard that was actually there, which is great for me. And number two, there's like a whole storage nook that wasn't at all sort of mentioned on the post, on the listing. And there's like a really decent amount of space in there. Like, it's low down, but there's more space than I was expecting to get. And I actually had a dream like many weeks ago. I think it was before I went to Australia, definitely. And as of when I'm filming this, I've been back from Australia for about 2 weeks. Actually, exactly 2 weeks. Anyway, I had a dream where I was buying a place, so not quite the situation we find ourselves in, but it was reasonably small. But it had this, in my dream, this giant space for storage that could also be used as like a dance studio, because that's how big it was, and a great space for singing because it was like blocked off in terms of sound. And that's the thing for me, like, I don't need a lot of living space, but I do need a lot of storage space because I collect stuff. And so to find this nook, I saw these doors and I was like, oh, what's this? And they said, oh, it's like storage, you can have a look. And I opened it and I just was like, this is for me? And they said yes. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So as I was walking home, I was already thinking, I like this place a lot. I want to put in an offer. How long do I have to allow? And before I got home, which is, I would say, less than a 20-minute walk, before I got home, I'd already texted to say, I really like it. What do you need from me? I want to secure this. And so I sent over the necessary things, and there was a bit of back and forth because there were like lots of different bits and bobs that they needed. And then eventually it was like, can you send a holding deposit of 1 week's rent? Which, by the way, that's amazing. I have seen holding deposits of like 1 month's rent as opposed to 1 week's. And there were a couple of other like fiddly bits and bobs that needed to be sorted. But the viewing was at 6:15. It's now 7:40 and I've got the place, more or less. I've sent over the deposit and I get the contract on Sunday and the keys on Sunday. I'm working in the morning, so I'll go after work. And I can't quite believe it. I don't want to let myself believe it until I've got the keys in my hand and the contract signed. I can't believe she just accepted me. You know, I was expecting a lot of competition and that she would sort of say, I'm going to wait and see if anyone offers anything higher or anything like that, which is why I wanted to be the first one there. But I saw that she'd closed the listing, so it really does seem like it's going to be mine in like 4 days' time. And I cannot wait. I'm so excited. The actual moving will obviously take place in a vlog, and I think it will take place over time. I need to sort out Wi-Fi. That's the one thing that they don't have, so I need to sort that out, but that's okay. I've asked a friend to help me with it because I'm not the most savvy when it comes. It's funny, I'm savvy with a lot of things and a lot of technology and a lot of like organizational stuff, but somehow when it comes to like house stuff, like electric, heating, water, like all the bills, all the utilities, Wi-Fi, I just can't quite wrap my head around it. And I think it's just because I've never had to deal with it, because either I've always been with roommates who deal with it, or it's just always been included in whatever package of where I'm living. So I've asked one of the friends who I lived with in Ireland to see if they could help me find something. But I'll also do my own research, of course. So yeah, the Wi-Fi is going to be a big thing because I don't really think I'm going to want to move in there until I've got that sorted. And then also getting my stuff over is also going to be... It's just going to depend on basically if my grandma or my aunt can drive me with a car. I think I'll be able to do almost everything in one go, in one car trip. And then if there's bits and bobs, I can walk them. As I say, it's not such a long walk between here and there, so I should be able to just carry stuff or wheel a suitcase. But there are some bigger, bulkier things, and there's also 1 or 2 suitcases where the wheels have broken, and I use them for storage because the wheels have broken, so I don't want to be wheeling those. But I like that it's so nearby that I really do have the flexibility of popping in and out, and also in terms of sorting food and things like that. Like, if I forget to buy food, I can come here for meals, and I like that I've got that. In general, to be honest, I like that I'm nearby. Oh, I've got a message. Okay. I've messaged my parents and I said, please, if you can call me when you wake up, do. And I've just got a message. I'm waiting to see if they call. But yeah, I like anyway that I'm so nearby because it's nice to know that I'm in the location and everything about it is actually better than I was expecting. And I mean, the only thing maybe that I would say is the bathroom is minuscule. The bathroom is tiny, but it's got a toilet, it's got a shower, it's got a sink, it's got a little cupboard. It'll do. I don't want to get too excited until Sunday, but I'm kind of getting a bit too excited. I can't believe it's actually happening. I can't believe. I was saying to my friend this morning, because they know that I've been searching for a place. I didn't say this to them this morning. I was thinking it to myself this morning, and I said it to them this evening after I got the place, supposedly. It feels like the whole day has felt like when I do rush tickets for theatre shows, where it opens at 10 and you all try and fight for the tickets at the same time and you hope that you get them. And that's exactly what it felt like today. It was just like, oh, I know there's a chance. I won't be too devastated if I can't get them or the house, but I'd be elated if I can. And I am. I need to, I think, go and like scream about it from the rooftops. So I'm gonna go. I don't know if I didn't expect this video to be quite so short. I didn't think it would not take this long or like take less than this long. Like, as I say, I've only been back exactly 2 weeks. I didn't expect this. Maybe we'll wrap it up once I've actually got the keys and stuff, because I do want to be 100% sure that I'm actually in the flat before I let go of this video. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting it to go so quickly. I wasn't expecting to end up in the same area. I know I was hoping for it, but I really wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting more storage than, like, this is the most amount of storage I've seen in just about any place. There was one other place that had a storage nook. There's a dryer as well, like a washing machine and a dryer, which I was not expecting at all. It is shared with a few other flats, but like there's 2 dryers and 2 washers, so I think we'll manage. I wasn't actually expecting in the end to find something at this level in terms of pay. It's just, it's all kind of, yeah, fallen into place. And I guess I've got to start packing now. Although, to be honest, I was quite wise and left most of my stuff packed. At the moment, I've got my bare minimum unpacked for what I need in day-to-day life, and that's about it. It's happening! I don't want to get too excited, but it's happening. All right, I'm gonna go now. Bye. Hello! We've signed a contract, and we've got the keys, and it's all very exciting. I got there, and I was thoroughly reading through the contract, and at some point, I mean, I was taking a long time, but also the agent kept talking to me, so I kept getting distracted. And then at some point the agent looked at me and said, "Have you never rented before?" And I said, "No, I have, but you know, it's you know, I want to be sure that I'm not signing my life away." But it actually seemed like a very decent contract, and from what I understood is other people in the building have been there a long time. That's always a good sign. She was very understanding, answered all my questions, like it was all very, very good, very easy. And I brought an extra bag to work today because I was just like, I want to have something I can leave behind. You know, I want to have something that indicates this is mine. And also it's one less bag that I then need to worry about schlepping over later. So I brought one of my toiletry bags, all the goodies. Oh, actually that was a vlog, but I got a bunch of goodies from work and I brought that over. And I think Wednesday is the day we're planning on moving most of the stuff. And I just want to get my teeth sunk into it. Oh, I'm so desperate. And the batteries, well, a package arrived today from Amazon. I haven't opened it yet, but I presume it's batteries for my camera, so that is great. The only thing I haven't sorted yet is Wi-Fi, but I'm really hoping to get that done by tomorrow night, latest. Obviously, I don't know how long it'll take to implement, but at least we'll have it sorted. So we're not finished yet, because I think I'm gonna keep this for the move, although I think I'll do most of the moving stuff in vlogs, but I will obviously at some point take you into the house. You can't call it a house, the room. Maybe once I've got all my bags and boxes just like in the room. I'm so excited. I can't believe it's happening. Although when I had to pay the fee, today I had to pay the double rent because they always ask you to pay the month, obviously the rent, but then also some sort of deposit. So when I had to pay that and I just saw my bank account drained of all that money, that did sting just a little tiny bit. But you know what, I was speaking to my parents and they kept asking me, I mean, I've had loads of people very kindly ask me like, what do I need? And I keep saying to people, I don't know what I need because I need to unpack stuff and see what I've got. And so my parents said, how about we offer to pay for your first full shop? And that is the best gift. That is such a good gift because it just means I can buy all my staples and not worry about it. And I'm definitely going to need that. That is the perfect gift. If you're ever looking what you should get as a housewarming gift, now it can potentially end up being quite expensive, but if you even want to contribute to that first gift, or to that first shop, that's what I would recommend giving as a housewarming gift. Because that is stuff that the new person will 100% definitely use. So yay! I can't believe how quick it all went. I was really expecting this video to be like months long, and I can't believe, I mean, 2 weeks ago I was in Australia, well 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago I was in Australia, and now I've just signed a contract and got keys to a flat. Insane, amazing, fantastic. Ah! So one of the things I want to do is I only got the contract hard copy, so I want to scan it and send it to my parents so they have a copy and also so that they can read through it. To me it seemed like a very decent contract, but always good to have another also pair of eyes looking at it. More experienced, shall we say. And then I'm gonna need to change addresses. Luckily, I started making a list anyway, and then last night I spoke to my parents and they gave me some more suggestions for places where I need to change my address. So I have a list of about 10 different places where I need to change my address, and I'm gonna get started on that tonight, hopefully. Although I've got a lot of things to do tonight. But yeah, I think the next time I'll see you will be in the flat or loading the car. One of the two. Here we go. Ah! Hello. It's been a while since I've chatted to you. And things have happened. There's been so much, like Monday I wanted to speak to you and I don't think I did, and then every day since I've tried and failed. On Monday I brought an extra bag with so I could drop it off at the flats. Just one less thing to worry about when I actually move all the rest of my stuff, and also just nice to like put things in the flat and feel like it's mine. It's gonna take some time to get there though, but we will get there. And then yesterday I was trying to figure out exactly when, where, how I was going to move all my stuff. Oh, also, I think it was Monday I ordered the Wi-Fi, so that was ordered on Monday. I think we got a pretty good deal. I think it was a Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal, but I'm not entirely sure. It's meant to be quite good, so we shall see. So I was trying to arrange everything on Tuesday, which is only yesterday, and I was trying to coordinate with my grandma, who has a car, with the landlord, who will let her park in the space for like an hour just so we can drop off my stuff, with a neighbour who has some of my suitcases in their garage. And there was someone else I was trying to coordinate with as well. So there were 4 people I was trying to sort everything out with, and I did it. I got everything sorted. And then at the same time, I got an email or a message saying that the Wi-Fi would be coming on Wednesday. And I just thought, perfect. Or everything's, you know, fitting into its place. And then a couple of hours later, I got a message from my colleague at work asking if I could cover her on Wednesday. So of course I said yes and rearranged everything. So hopefully I will be able to move most of my stuff tomorrow afternoon. That is the plan. I went back into the flat today because I was tutoring nearby, so I stopped in. And then first of all, I love the building. I think it's a really cozy building and it feels like it's well maintained, which is good. The flat itself, I keep looking at like the cupboards and things like that and the storage nook that we've got. And I find it really hard to visualize things like this. I really struggle with seeing space. I think what I realized today is that the hanging cupboard is quite small. It's smaller than I think I was anticipating. There is space for another tall cupboard or even just a hanging rail, but the only place really where I would put it would be covering plug sockets. So I'd need to see if that's worth it. Or I could move the cupboard and then put another cupboard there, but either way I'm covering the plug sockets. Realistically though, I don't think I'm gonna need that many plug sockets. Like I just want the ones by my bed like I have here. So we'll see. Well, we'll be playing around with things, I'm sure. And if I were to get a cupboard, you know, I wouldn't be in a rush for it. I'll just see when someone's giving away or very cheaply selling a cupboard. But I just really want to get my stuff stuff and sink my teeth into it all. But we're doing it tomorrow afternoon, which is kind of better. Today we would have done it in the morning, and I had tutoring in the evening-ish. So by doing it tomorrow afternoon, it means hopefully I can still go for a run in the morning, and then I can stay in the flats, later. I can have supper later, I don't need to be home at a certain time for supper. So hopefully I can give myself a couple of hours to just work my way through things. I don't even think it will take that long. I think once I've got my stuff in the flat, which in and of itself will take quite a bit of time, but once my stuff is in, it's just going to be a matter of unpacking each box or case, making piles, and that's all I need to do to begin with. Then I need to put the piles in their respective places. But I do have a vision. I have made a list of the different piles I want. I think there are 4 piles. I do think I should bring or buy some wipes so that I can already put things away in the kitchen. I mean, it is wiped, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like I want to give it a clean myself. I want to know that it's clean. Although the top surface is, so I could probably put stuff on the top surface. It's just the cupboards and things. I don't know. I just feel I want to make sure. The only thing I've realized I haven't checked is the shower. And I'm a bit nervous about checking it, but I gotta do it at some point. It's gonna take some getting used to. I can feel that already, and I'm sure once I've got my own stuff in, it'll feel more homely already. It is a great space, like for as much as it can be for the budget I've got. And as I say, when I walked into the overall building, I did feel good about it. But it is gonna take a little bit of adjusting coming from having been here on and off for the last 6 years almost to that place. But I think I will. I think I will adjust to it, and I think I'm going to really love it once I do. Even before I do, but even more so once I do. So those are my thoughts and feelings, and hopefully tomorrow will be the move and a lot of the unpacking. And then we just sort everything else out. Oh, so the weird thing was, the Wi-Fi was meant to come today, and I got a bunch of messages from the provider saying it's going to come with a delivery company and they'll be in touch with you. And they've not been in touch with me. Now, to be fair, it was ordered on Monday evening. I would be shocked if it was already there. But I have kept checking and I've not seen anything. So I'm kind of hoping it comes tomorrow. But we'll see. I've also just realised, in theory, there's no reason why I couldn't go to the flat on Shabbat. Because I can definitely walk it. And unpacking, in theory, doesn't require anything that breaks Shabbat. So that might be a really good way to spend the day. Maybe I'll go to shul in the morning and then come home. Although then I won't have lunch. I'll see. I'll see what I do. But tomorrow is the big day. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. At some point. I don't quite know when, but at some point. Hello. Ooh. Someone knows I'm here. Right, take 2. So we've just arrived. I think it was about half an hour ago that I finished. Oh, 20 minutes ago. I've just been on the phone to a friend who knew that I was moving today. And my grandma really, really kindly dropped me off. But obviously, her being a little bit older and a little bit frailer, I didn't want her carrying anything, which was very nice of me, but also meant that I was here on my own, schlepping very heavy cases up, because we are not on the bottom floor, unfortunately, and we do not have a lift. Now, my grandma's car was also smaller than I remembered it being, which is not the end of the world, but it did mean that we didn't get quite as much as I would have liked in, but there is exactly enough for a second round. And she's very happy to take me, and all the things that are left are not as heavy. They're all just boxes and things like that. They're not suitcases. But I did find that there were 2 empty suitcases in the garage. One big and one small. Plus I still had the medium one from Australia. So for now I've taken the small one up, and so I've got a small and a medium to pack the rest of my stuff in. But if necessary, I do still have the big one as well. So that's great. I was really pleased to find that, and it also meant it was 2 cases less worth of stuff that I had to worry about. And now I need to get started, and I don't know. I'm so excited. Maybe I'll start, there have been 2 cases I think I said in someone else's garage, so maybe I'll start with those because those are the ones I've not looked at in 3 years, and I think they're also the ones that have like kitchenware and things like that. I found some disinfectant floor wipes in the bathroom at home, so I just stole those. I'm gonna bring them home, so I'm borrowing them, but it just means I can give everything a bit of a clean. And I brought a couple more clothes whilst I could, and my Rubik's Cubes and things like that. The only thing I forgot to bring, I was kind of thinking like, what do I need to bring this time round? And I knew it was the big cases because I've got the most amount of time now. It's sort of just after 3, so I've got about 4 hours before I need to go back home for supper. I feel like 4 hours is a lot of time. I feel like I can get it done. I can't remember what I was looking for in here, but the one thing I forgot, which is a little bit annoying, and I saw it in the corner hiding and I moved it so that it was in a more obvious place so I would remember to bring it. But then in the end I went down before my grandma and I was bringing a box down and I didn't have enough arms. and it's my big tripod. I wish I'd had that here so I could film some stuff now. But I've got my little one, at least, so it's not the end of the world. And we're just gonna make do. And I'm so glad. I said to myself, I think I want something sleeveless to wear because I know that I get very hot and sweaty when I'm lugging suitcases around. And I was wearing this, but I had my big blue jumper over the top. And my grandma had seen me in this before we left and presumed I wasn't fully dressed yet. So I didn't feel I could take my jumper off whilst she was there. So I had to lug all the cases up with my big heavy jumper on. But the second sort of I said goodbye to her, and as I was walking back up the stairs, I took my jumper off. And I'm very grateful for that. I like having no sleeves. Although, that being said, the flat's quite cool at the moment. Not cold, but cool, which was great when I was coming in every time with the suitcase, because it was like, oh, that's nice, because the communal areas are quite warm. But now I'm starting to cool down again a bit, so I might put my jumper back on, at least to begin with. I'm so excited. I can't believe, you know, I'm here, and it feels so homely. Even before I've unpacked, I'm just like, this is a nice space. I like the space. And I met one of the other tenants downstairs very briefly. I just said hello. I didn't even get her name, but she seemed friendly. She was smiling, so that's nice. And yeah, let's do this. I think I'm going to start by wiping the kitchen surfaces so I can do the kitchen stuff. And then we're going to start making piles. And I'm going to listen to some music whilst I do that. Now, I'm absolutely not going to film everything, but I will obviously try and keep the camera rolling for different bits. Bye. Think of a kangaroo so as can be. Oh. I have been looking for this notebook for I can't tell you how long. And I even looked in Australia for it. I had no idea where it disappeared to. I'm so glad I found that. There's so much going on here. So much of this is just gonna go right back into storage, but we've got to unpack it all and see what there is. Let's keep going. Oh my gosh. Take two. Mugs! I'm thrilled about that. I don't know. Alright, it is 5 o'clock, just gone, and we're making really good progress. I have opened and finished piling all the cases, and I feel like I'm missing stuff, but that's a problem for another day. On the floor, let me show you my space. Actually, I've not, well, the bags I haven't done yet, but that's okay. Clearly, I've got 3 piles on the floor, can't you tell? Actually, I've got 4. There is a pile of stuff I want to keep out, a pile of stuff that I want to pack into one suitcase and I'm happy to bring back to Australia, and a pile of stuff I want to pack away into storage. That's like it's 3 lines. And the one I want to pack into storage is ones I still want to have accessibility to. And I would love to pack it all away now, but I'm trying to figure out which case is best for what. And one of the cases I left at my grandma's, one of the empty cases, the big one, it has a broken wheel, so I would never actually use it for travel, whereas almost all the rest of these cases I would, except the one giant one, and I'm trying to figure out what should go in that one. I kind of want to put all my, oh yeah, because we've also got the bed. That's the pile of summer stuff that needs to be packed away for now. There's a middle pile of, I'm not sure, and you can't really see it because it's covered by the coat, but there's a whole pile here of winter stuff. And I would love to put some things away. I was going to bring hangers with today, and then I just didn't have space for them anywhere. But the problem with having put it there is I can't get through. Maybe I start with the pile of stuff that's staying in here anyway and figuring out where I'm going to put it. And I'm already seeing that I might move some stuff to other piles. But let me tell you, opening my kitchen stuff, so I do think I'm missing stuff, but we'll talk about that later. It felt like Christmas Day. I could not that I've ever experienced Christmas Day in that sense. I could not get over how many mugs I had. I know I collect mugs, I know I have a lot, and I know that I've still got loads in Australia, but I had no idea how many I had here, how many I must have collected over my 6 years here. Let me show you my mug cupboard. I was running out of space already. Look at that. And I'd forgotten about so many of them. So many of them. I was like, I don't remember owning this. Oh, it's thrilling. And then I have a Hello Dolly mug. Let me show you closer. But I don't know if you can see. It was still wrapped. It's been in the suitcase. It's got a massive crack, like all along. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It goes from there all the way to the handle. And I don't really understand how that's happened. Because as I say, it was packaged for us in the theatre, and it has only been in storage since. The only thing I can think is the cord, if being in the garage was cold. Because my glass broke, my glass frame for one of my picture things, and I think that was just from the cold, I think. I could be wrong. But there's not really, it's not had any movement, it's not had anything bumping against it, and I packaged it all so well. So I don't really know. I've taken my Chanukia out because it's Chanukah soon, but obviously come January, I'll put that away. I've got a Haftalah candle that actually my grandma gave me years ago. Maybe it was for the ship, I think. But then we couldn't light fire on the ship. I've got my Shabbat candle, which I probably will want to move because I won't want to lean over, I think. And then, I don't know if you can see, I've got a Kiddush cup as well, which I don't remember owning. I think maybe my parents sent it to me when I was in Ireland. That's the only conclusion I can come to. But it's gorgeous. It's very pretty. And it's so nice to have my own. And then I've not yet put away the teapot because I'm not quite sure where to put it. I had a couple of kitchen things. I've put some things up here and I just don't know. Oh, I don't know. But I'm missing my frying pan. I definitely had a frying pan in Ireland. I know I left stuff in Ireland and I wonder if I left that there, but that's such a dumb thing not to take with. But then I've also not got any plates and hardly any cutlery, so maybe I just left all my staples there. There's something sticky on the floor. I don't know what's happened. Also, I was gonna not have a rubbish bag because I forgot to bring one. Even though I did take one the other day, I just don't know where I've put it. But then when the glass broke, I was like, no, I need to do something about this. So I took one of the bags that I was gonna keep for shopping stuff and whatever. But I found I've got rather a lot of tote bags. So I've taken the TUI tote bag and put all my bubble wrap and packaging material in. So that felt good to get out of the way. I think I'm going to start with the pile of things I'm going to leave in here and try to sort through it. And then we'll figure out the next steps. Look at all my mugs. Makes me so happy. Oh, and also, I've decorated by the window and I love it. Can you tell I like Eeyore for the record? Oh, I'm covering it. All right, I need to get on this. I will speak to you after. Oh. Hello. I feel like we've made some really good progress. We've cleared the 2 piles and it became a suitcase, 2 jumpers and a box, which is pretty good if you ask me, in my opinion. But the annoying thing is the pile that's left is the one that's in the way of the kitchen, which is a bit annoying and I didn't think that through. But I'm starting to drip. I wasn't sure if I was going to say drop or dip there and I ended up saying both. I'm starting to dip a little and I think what I'm going to do, that pile is a problem for next time I'm here, which will probably be tomorrow. And I think I'll bring over that big case and I think I'll put it all in there. Although realistically, I think this is a smaller pile than the middle pile. And as I say, the middle pile all fit into that. So maybe I won't need such a big case, but I can put that and this pile in. I reckon that'll fit. And there's my tower of suitcases, all of them empty. So I feel pretty good. And then obviously I've got that box and all the stuff I still have at home, which isn't that much, but equally I'm like, I just want to be done now. I want to be finished. I have used some of the underbed storage, but I've not used any of the little storage nook we've got. And I think I'm going to wait to use that until I've got everything here. I'm nervous about opening this box though, because it's my friend's box and it's got most of their stuff in it. But there are 1 or 2 things in there that are mine. So, and I realised I didn't bring scissors, which was a bit silly, but that can also be a tomorrow task. I love the Santa hats. So the last task of the evening before I go home is going to be toiletries. I've just gone into the bathroom and wiped stuff, hence the lights. So the orange bag and the blue bag are both full of toiletries and only toiletries, I'm pretty sure. So what I'm going to do is sort out what I want in the bathroom and what I just will put back. I've always had that orange bag as like spare toiletries, so what can I put back in the orange bag? But I reckon we can get it down to 1 bag. I do feel confident about that. So that's what I'm going to get started on now, and I will see you once I'm done. Almost done for the day, almost done. I think it's just gone 6. Yeah, 6 past 6. And I finished with the toiletries. I managed to keep it all in one bag, but it's a very overfull bag and I've not yet decided where I'm going to put it. Because the stuff in that bag is like medication or spares of things or like sun cream, which I don't need at the moment, and insect repellent, which I don't need at the moment. All the things I don't use regularly, but I do want access to. So at the moment I've got it leaning against the wall, but we shall see what we do with it. I've put some things in the little cupboard. We have a tiny little cupboard for toiletries, I suppose, whatever they're called. So I've put some things in there. I've also got my bag of hair stuff because I only wash my hair once a week. So again, I don't really like leaving it in the bathroom because I have all these products and it's so unnecessary. So at the moment, that's also just on the floor, but we will figure it out. If I look on this side of me, I feel good. If I look on this side, I'm just like, whoa. I mean, it's not that bad. Oh, in fact, I've got an hour. Maybe I can start folding some of my winter clothes and putting them in a cupboard just to clear up a little bit of space. Maybe I'll do that. I'll start. I'll see how far I get. I very much expect to lose motivation halfway through. But even what I could do is make a pile of hanging stuff and make it clear that that's hanging stuff. I do feel I've got a lot done. I mean, it's been 3 hours and I feel like a lot is sorted. I really wish I had hangers though, that would be useful. And I wish I had that other case with me now. Although to be honest, as I say, I am sort of dropping anyway, so maybe it's fine that I don't have it. But I've sorted through most of the bags and boxes that I brought with today. There's one in front of me, which is a food bag, food in terms of snacks, so I don't need to deal with that. And then there's just the big box that isn't even totally mine. But everything else that I brought with today has been sorted through. And I don't think I was necessarily anticipating that. And what's left is like, I'd say 3 or 4 boxes. There's really not that much. 3 or 4 boxes that I've got prepared, and then obviously all the clothes that all the last minute things, everything last minute, which is a lot. But in theory, most of those things should be sorted. Each bag and box, I'm more or less, not totally, but more or less grouped things together. So I know like this box is for books and this bag is for this. I really want to put up shelves. I think that's like, I thought about it from when I first saw it online. I thought there's a lot of wall space to use. And I'm pretty sure we are allowed to as long as we get permission. And I just think shelves, I mean, I've got either so many books, but also notebooks or folders or things like that. Or even like for the mugs, I could have a mug shelf. I don't know, I just feel like I'm not necessarily lacking on storage. Like I think I'll be okay, but I would like to display stuff rather than have it all, in a drawer or, I don't know. It would just be nice. And like I've got some photo frames and all my decorative stuff, which at the moment is all on the 2 windowsills. But it feels a bit too cluttered, and I kind of feel like if you spread it out across shelves, it won't be as bad. To be fair, it's also Christmas period, so I've got like all the Christmas festive decorations up as well. It's 3 things, but still. Yeah, I think I will do the folding of the clothes, at least as much as I have the effort for, the energy for, and that'll be it, I think. See you soon. I've just had to change the battery for the first time today, which is quite impressive when you consider I did all the filming in here, but before that I also filmed some running stuff, which was like 15 minutes worth of footage, I think. So I'm pretty impressed with that, and I'm glad I've got my change of batteries. It is now 6:40, although I did just spend like 10 minutes sending a video to my parents. So let's say that I think we left the house around 2:30, so 4 hours in total, but that's including schlepping all the cases across and everything. And I feel like I've really done well. I'm pleased with everything I've done today, and I kind of feel like I can finish it tomorrow. Well, except for all the stuff that's still at my grandma's and that hopefully at some point we can bring across. This is really low down, but I can't fix it because the ledge is just not big enough. I was hoping when I looked at the pictures and when I looked at it in person, it looked like it would be big enough for my tripod, but it's just not. Oh, you're falling. I think that's what's happening. Oh, I'll just lean forward, shall I? I'll just make it one arm. There's a lot to do, but I feel like for a start, this is great. And to move in, like I should be ready in theory on the weekend, but I'm gonna wait till some point next week. I'm getting a microwave from my aunt, which is wonderful. She has a spare microwave somehow. So I may go and collect that on Monday because I think she lives close to where I work. And then two of my cousins very kindly said as a housewarming gift they would get me a kettle, a really nice kettle. So I don't know when that's coming, but that's very nice of them and I'm very excited. And then the only thing I really feel I need before I can move in, obviously I need to do a food shop, but that's fine. The biggest thing I feel I'm missing is that pan. And I know I have it, but I may have left it in Ireland and I can't wait. I think it's 3 weeks, 4 weeks until I go to Ireland. I can't wait until then. And I don't even know if I'll be able to take it back at that point. So I think, you know, pans aren't crazy expensive. I might just buy one pan. Because also there's no harm in having 2 pans. You never know when you need more than one. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow and I will see you then. Bye. Hello, it's almost 9 in the morning and I've just come over with some stuff because I'm about to go to work. But it's very wet and rainy and windy outside, so I'm a bit frazzled and quite warm, to be honest. I've brought a whole suitcase with most of my clothes, most of the rest of my clothes, and hangers. My grandma said I could borrow some for the time being, which is great. And then, you're being filmed on my phone, by the way, because I'm going to work and my bags were all full, so I didn't bring my camera. But I've got this bag. Can I put you on a chair? But I was so happy to find that bag because it fits a lot of stuff, and I've been able to I found more shopping bags, which is fantastic because I'm hoping to do my big shop after work today, or at least part 1 of my big shop. And then I also took a couple of things in my backpack, so that's the main thing I need to empty right now before work. But I did get here a little bit early, so I might do a little bit more work whilst I'm here anyway. But I'm going to empty my backpack first and make sure I've got the things I need for work. Just wanted to keep you updated. Hello, it's about 20 minutes later and I have unpacked everything I came with, which is amazing, and I've sort of put away all the clothes things. I think I will need a couple more hangers than what I brought, but I'm managing with less than what I had at my grandma's, so we'll be okay. I've got my bag ready with bags inside of it for shopping later, which hopefully will all work out, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very good. I feel like I got a lot of work done in 20 minutes, and now it's off to work, so I will see you all later at some point, hopefully. Bye. Hiya, I'm home in my new flat. I've just come home from work and it's almost 4 o'clock, and that means I've got 1 hour to do my big shop, hence why I'm leaving everything as I am. But I did just want to empty my bag. I got little bearers at work today, so that was cute. I need to put those back in my bag actually at the end. I'm emptying my bag for now, but obviously I want to take a lot of this back. I got lots of food today, but I just want to have an empty bag that I can then hopefully put things in whilst I go shopping. But just before I go, I got this little bag from work and I just want to see what's in it. Everything in here seems to be long life stuff, so I think I'm just going to leave it here and add it to my food stash. But how lovely, that's a very nice treat. Well, that's a nice find. And now I just walked in, emptied my bag, filmed this, and now I'm going to go out again. Hopefully I can get everything I need and want in the time I've got, and with, you know, the arms I've got, the muscles I've got. Bye. I am exhausted. It was going so well right up until I needed to leave. I finished packing everything and paying for it at 10 to 5, so it took me exactly an hour, which isn't too bad, and I'm glad I made it in the time, you know, before the shop closed. But getting those bags to my flat, whew, that was not easy. But I'm here, I got them all in. I think I'm going to give myself maximum an hour to unpack stuff. I don't even think it'll take that long, but that's how long I'm allowing myself, and then I'm going to go home. Exhausting, but I did it. It was expensive, but I mean, I bought a lot of long-lasting things and things that I need, you know, the initial things that you need to buy, lots of spices and whatnot. So I'm going to try and find a place for them in my kitchen, although I've still got that pile that's sort of blocking the way a little bit, but we'll see what we can make of it, and then I'm going to go. That was exhausting. Hello, we've done quite a decent amount. I've unpacked everything and I've put most things away. You can see some things over there. I've only got a handful of things in front of me still left to sort. I gave in and bought Tupperware, even though you could probably find them cheaper somewhere else, and I know I have, but there are many things I can do without. Tupperware is not one of them, I don't think. And then the other big thing I've got still some oil that you're resting on at the moment, but that will probably end up somewhere on the counter, to be honest. I just need to sort through this corner. So I don't know if you can see, I put all my spices up, which makes me very happy, but it's just the teapot and the plate and cups that I'm still sort of, at the moment, leaving there. But I do still have space in these cupboards. I just can't get to them properly. And so everything I'm sort of throwing in rather than like properly placing. And the top shelves are a lost cause at the moment. So I do want to fix that up once the pile on the floor is sorted. But the only other major thing that's sort of awkward are all the tea lights I bought, but I'm going to be using these at least every week, potentially every day. So it was worth getting a big pack. And I also got myself a little treat. Well, I got myself a few little treats, but this one, I don't need this at all, but I thought it'd be nice. And it was on a discount, so had to get it. I've got warm apple pie candle, even just like a waft there, just so beautiful. I love it. I'm gonna use the lemon one first, but I know, like, the lemon one, I've got it because I didn't have anything else and because it was free. This is more my style. This or like vanilla, or I don't know, I just like sweet scents. Not too sweet, but this is just cozy. And I'm just so looking forward to coming home and being able to light, first of all, obviously the lemon candle, but also the little candle that I got from my colleague who very sadly passed away earlier this year, or actually almost a year ago now. And it's just, I was so touched by the gift at the time, and obviously it's so much more meaningful now. So it's really lovely to have that. And I've never seen it lit up, so I'm looking forward to that. And I get a good feeling walking in here. You know, I'm making it my home and it's so lovely. I mean, I'm still not 100% there. There's definitely still things to sort out, but I know that it won't take me long to get into a very comfortable routine. And once all the clutter is out of the way, then I'll feel a lot better. I feel like each time I come in and I'm doing something, whether it's the shop, whether it's unpacking, whether it's moving things, I just feel like it becomes mine a little bit more. And I love that. And at some point, I'm going to try and get a mezuzah as well, which would be awesome. But I can just so see myself coming here after work and unwinding and just, you know, I've mentioned in a number of vlogs that I feel with my grandma. I mean, I love my grandma dearly and I'm so grateful to be able to stay with her, and it's so, you know, so special. But she is very social. And so when I come home from work and all I want to do is collapse, I can't do that. And I am looking forward to just coming home and being in my own space, not having anyone to sort of respond to, being able to get straight into pajamas, being able to just like cook in a chill way with no expectations and be able to experiment. Like, there's just all these things that I don't even think I've really realized how much I've missed it. But once I get to do it again, I'm going to be happy about it. And as I've said before, it's nice that I'm still so nearby my grandma's that I can still see her and I can still have meals with her and all that. I think at the moment I just need to declutter this space. That's like, I keep looking around and just feeling cramped, when realistically so much of what I'm seeing is going to go away. I mean, I've got 5 suitcases out, and at the moment I've got 3 or 4 bags, and half my bed is taken up with clothes, half the floor is taken up with stuff. I mean, there's still a few more things coming, but once I just get it all into its place and build that routine, oh, it's going to be dreamy. Right, it is almost 6 now, so I'm going to go. And I realised at work today that I'm actually working very long days these coming few days, so I don't think I'll be back here until either Wednesday or Thursday. So I will see you then. It's nice to document the like realistic process of how long everything takes. I hope it's nice anyway. I hope it's, you know, nice for you to see that this is just how it goes. It's not straightforward. And I've moved a lot of times. Anyway, I will see you probably on Wednesday. Bye. Oh, also actually, there's been an update. I don't know if I've told you about the kettle fiasco, but very kindly, two of my cousins said they would band together to get me a kettle, and they recommended a specific brand. So I looked at their website and I found one that I really liked, and I sent it to them, and they wrote back and said it's out of stock at the moment. Do you want to wait or do you want to find another? So the last 24 hours, I have been scrolling mindlessly through hundreds and hundreds of kettles, both just on Google and on Amazon and those kinds of places, and just absolutely no luck. And today at work, I was again scrolling through it. And at some point, one of my colleagues leaned over and said, "You have been looking at kettles for the last hour. What's the problem with it?" And I said, "Well, I wanted to get this kettle, but I couldn't because it's out of stock, and now I can't find anything quite as good." And I Googled the name of it to show my colleague a picture. And on this different website, I found the same kettle, exactly the same, supposedly, that does have it in stock. So I've sent it to my cousin, and I think she said she's going to order it. So that would be great. And I hope that's meant to be coming in the next few days as well. So that's exciting. And then once the kettle is here, I'm going to pick up a toaster. I'm just going to get a cheap one that hopefully does the trick. And then obviously, whatever day I actually move in, I need to do another relatively big shop, although not as bad as this, hopefully, but of all the like fresh goods that I want. So yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there, slowly but surely. All right, I'll see you all later. Bye. Hello. Well, the lighting is not ideal, but we're gonna make do. I wasn't gonna pop in from work today, and then my cousin said that the kettle had arrived, and so I thought I'll go in and check. And actually, I've been stealing teas from work that I keep forgetting to drop off. So I'm gonna do that now as well. I've just got like a regular English breakfast and a lemon and ginger because I've only got the decaf and I don't have lemon and ginger. But I don't drink it that much. It's just because I've got a cold. I don't think I've spoken to you about it or at all. It came on I want to say Sunday night, and then Monday morning I was like, it's definitely there. I'm just going to empty some other things from my bag while I'm here because I'm hoping to do the big move anyway tomorrow, the second half of the big move. So I don't need to be carrying a lot of this stuff tomorrow. So I've not vlogged much or anything because of this. Here we go, I've got 3 and 3 over the days that I've collected. So that's useful. But my cousin said it was in a box and that it had been left with the other post, and I thought, brilliant. And I was kind of imagining, you know, like a kettle-sized box. Look at the size of that thing. You can't even tell on camera, hold on. Look at that. Can you see how big this is? It's quite light, at least. I don't really have a good place to put it and open it at the same time. How did I end up with such a big box? Unless she's ordered something I didn't know about, but I doubt it. Oh, I mean, it's literally just packaging and the kettle. And the kettle is the size I was expecting the whole box to be. But boxes can be useful, so always gotta keep them. I'm really struggling. Okay, we're in. Whoa. Oh, my candles fell over. Oh well. Oh dear. That's what I was expecting to find downstairs. Not that. I'm so excited. Da, 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 da. I hope it's... I've just realised, and I realised this today at work, because at work we have a kettle that has that sort of top where you have to lift it, and I realised as I was pouring myself tea, I really hope I've got a kettle with a click rather than a top, but I haven't. Well, hopefully it'll be pretty enough and nice enough that I won't mind. And presumably I'll get used to it. It's just that I've always had a clicky one. That's the top. It's a bit darker than I thought it would be, but the material is lighter. I thought it was going to be like more heavy, I guess. I mean, it's great that it comes in so much packaging, but also, geez, what a lot of packaging. This was just meant to be a quick stopover. Dun, da, 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 da. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, the lighting is so bad that you can't see how pretty it is, but I'm sure it's going to appear in lots of vlogs. It's very pretty. It's so different to how I was expecting, but truly I'm not complaining. And it comes with this little, oh, I don't want to remove it because I'm not sure if I'm going to mess it up. But there's like a filter by the pouring spout. It's so clean. It's so rare you get to see a clean kettle. Oh, that makes me so happy. And now the base. Fabulous. I'm going to do all the like messy stuff tomorrow, but I just want to check that it's doing its thing and that it's here and that it's mine. And that's the base. Fabulous. Okay, it's not got a very long lead, but we do have a plug here. All right, have we got all the components? Where's the lid gone? Oh, there's a lot happening here. How am I going to show you? Give me a second. I'm going to put this box somewhere else and then I'm going to have a test run of the kettle. So it's plugged in and I don't know if you can see, there's enough water for it to be under the minimum, I think. Maybe not. Hang on. I just discovered there was another light I could switch on, so we've got a bit more light. It was filled enough, but I just wanted to be extra careful, so here we go. Oh, I like the light. That's fun. Look at how pretty it is. Yay. That makes me very happy. And what I'm going to do, I cannot get to my mugs, but I'm going to try and get a mug and pour it with the hot water. I'm not going to make a cup of tea because I don't need one right now and I want to go home. But I kind of need to wash all my mugs anyway because they've been in storage for so long, and I've got a freshly boiled cup of tea or thing of tea, pot of tea. I'm just going to take the first one I can reach, which is a Winnie the Pooh one, although I think chances are high that I was going to pick a Winnie the Pooh one because most of them are Winnie the Pooh. Is this one, which I love. This is my like lemon and ginger and honey tea, or like red berry tea mug. Here we go. Can I tilt you down? I think you're going to fall if I try and tilt you. That's the best we're going to get. What if I just put you lower? There we go. Can't see me, but you can see the tea. Oh, it's quite light actually. I like that. Oh, probably should have washed that before I started, but hey ho. I like the spout. It's a nice shape. That's very satisfying. Oh, you can't even see it. I should do it higher. Ta-da! That's going to feature in so many vlogs, I reckon, from now on. Just me pouring tea. I'm really happy with that. And now I need to go home. But yay! Hello. We are in. These are from my parents, which I haven't opened the card yet, but very sweet. It's gorgeous. That's the shopping I've just done of fresh food, so I need to put that in the fridge quite quickly. And then there's some stuff I need to deal with. The floor as well I need to still deal with. Here's more stuff I need to deal with. More stuff, more stuff, more stuff, more stuff. Chill. No, I've got a good couple of hours of work to do. The Wi-Fi is meant to be arriving today, but I've not heard anything, so that's not ideal. And my cousin was saying when she had to order Wi-Fi, apparently they were 2 weeks late, so that doesn't give me the best feeling, but we shall see. And then I very kindly was given duvets and stuff to borrow from my grandma for the next few weeks until I get my stuff over from Ireland. But she's given me a double duvet, which is nice in theory, but for some reason she didn't have a duvet cover. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do tonight. I am going to purchase a duvet sheet today, hopefully. But for the rest, we're more or less good. On Friday, I'm going with my cousin to see if she's got anything in storage, because she said she definitely has a pan and potentially a plate and a bowl and whatnot, so that would be quite useful. But I think I'm gonna get on with all this, not really vlog it, I don't think. And then I'll talk to you at the end of today, because I should be staying here tonight, I think. And then I think I'm gonna finish up this video and move over to my vlogs. I think there's gonna be too much. This video is gonna be too long otherwise. And I was watching back the start of it, and I said that the moving, the whole, like, this bit was going to be in a vlog. But then I think because everything happened so quickly and it didn't take as long as I thought it would, I then added this back into this, but now it's a very long video. So, I'm gonna get on with this and I'll see you tonight. Wow. Alright, I have vlogged it, but I'm gonna put it in this video as well because this is the midpoint of the day, and so I'll do start, mid, end, and then we can finish. I'm doing really well. I have basically done everything. The only things I've got left to do are other things that are like day-to-day use. And I think the Wi-Fi's arrived, so I need to go check downstairs, although it won't be ready to actually activate until we get an engineer to come, which will hopefully be tomorrow. I say we, she uses the royal we, but I'm just going to give myself like another half an hour to sort those bits out. Then I'm going to go to my grandma's for lunch. Then I'm going to come back here and hopefully have another hour, hour and a half, and then I'm going to go to tutoring and then work. And then I will check in with you tonight, hopefully with bedding and a toaster as well. We're getting there. We're almost there. Yay! Hello. It's past 10 o'clock. I think it's like 10:30 on the 11th, 12th? I don't know what day it is. The 11th, I think, of December. And we're more or less done. I'm going to call it here for this video. The rest is all going to be in my vlogs. In fact, today there's probably been some overlap. The main things I still need to get done, which I think are all going to get done by Friday, are getting the bedding, getting the Wi-Fi sorted, getting a chopping board, and getting a frying pan. I think if I can get those 4 things, then everything else I'll just figure out. And I mean, realistically, I'm expecting my things from Ireland to be shipped over in about 6 weeks, maybe less. Maybe I'm going to call it 6 weeks. And then obviously there's going to be sorting all that, which is just like round 2. But I'm hoping most of it is useful, practical stuff like kitchenware. So I think we'll be okay. But I'm very happy here so far. I really love the space and it feels very home already, which is great. And I'm looking forward to living here. I'm really looking forward to living here. I think it all worked out a lot better than I was expecting. And actually, I was looking out of curiosity, I think it was in the last few days, I was looking on Zoopla and Rightmove and, you know, all the websites just to see. I was just curious, would I have found something now if I was still looking? And I mean, of course, eventually I would find something, I know that. But the things I was looking at on whatever day it was, I was just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and feeling so uninspired. I was like, none of these. It wasn't even like, oh, none of these are as nice as the place I got. It was, none of these meet my bare minimum requirements. So that made me feel a little better. I would say just about everything about this place is perfect. I'm sure I'll find the imperfections, but at the moment, I mean, apart from the stairs, that was a bit of a, you know. I was hoping this video would be an accurate reflection of the struggles of trying to find a property in London, and in the end, that's not what happened, and that's because I was very lucky, but also very on it. I think my top tip for anyone who was hoping to, you know, empathize with someone is to make sure you've got your alerts on and you're checking your emails. I mean, I was living on my emails. It's so funny. I literally, as soon as I got this place, I went from 100 to 0. I suddenly realized after a couple of days I hadn't checked my emails and I was like, oh, I should have a look. And if you see a property you think you like, just absolutely gun for it. Go for it as quick as you can. And make sure you've got all your paperwork ready. Like, it was so quick for me. And I had a good idea of my basic requirements, and I think that helps as well. Because one of my basic requirements was an oven, and then I went to view a property, I think I mentioned that one, and was seriously considering going back to it because I wasn't finding anything else. But I was hesitant because it didn't have an oven. And in the end, I'm so glad I was hesitant because now I have an oven and I've already used it the first night I'm in the flat. And I mean, maybe it doesn't have to be an oven for you. Maybe you don't care about that. Maybe you've got an air fryer, maybe whatever. But know your own deal breakers, I suppose. Deal breakers, and also this would be nice to have. And be aware of, like, I made a spreadsheet, I think I mentioned that earlier as well. What I did was I had this huge spreadsheet and I had a column for the rent price, a column for which bills were or weren't included, and then a column for what I expected the total price to be per month. And really consider that, because something may look cheaper, but if it doesn't have the bills included, that adds quite a lot. And often I found that the discrepancy really wasn't that big. And yeah, just any questions, feel free to ask down below. Any tips, feel free to drop them down below as well. And good luck to all of you out there who are struggling. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!